back to Sex Talks Podcast with me, your host, Selma Ndasilohenda Iyambo. As always, I'm super excited to be here with you, and I'm beyond grateful that you chose Sex Talks Podcast once again. If you're a first-time listener, welcome to the Sex Talks Podcast family. We are all about creating an informed and educated society of young people who can openly discuss sexual health matters while sharing their personal experiences and hearing from experts in the field. Today marks the beginning of a new season titled Your Body, Your Future, Navigating Adulthood. I am delighted, excited, and honored to be here with you because we have completed 10 full episodes of Sex Talks Podcast thanks to your support. We will be discussing key issues such as contraception, key factors to consider when selecting contraceptive methods, and hearing from young people who have faced unplanned parenthood. We will also explore the financial and mental health challenges that they have encountered along the way. Are you as excited as I am? We will be discussing a crucial topic today, which is Human Papillomavirus, popularly known as HPV, and its link to cervical cancer, as well as the importance of regular screening. We are joined by Job Ndeulita, a senior registered nurse at the Be Free Cares Clinic at the Be Free Youth Campus, where we are recording live from. Job holds various qualifications, a postgraduate diploma in nursing education from the University of South Africa, a postgraduate diploma in community nursing from Welwitschia University right here in Namibia, a master's in nursing science from the Philippine Christian University, and an HIV specialist. He is also an award-winning nurse. What an honor to be in your company today. According to statistics released by the Minister of Health and Social Services, Dr. Kalumbi Shangula, cancer rates have increased by 12% in recent years, with cervical and breast cancer being the most common, hence why we are having this conversation today. Thank you so much for taking time from your busy schedule to join us for this important discussion on HPV and cervical cancer. Job, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. How is Selma?
I'm doing very well. I'm super excited and delighted that you are here with us because I also want to find out more about the study that the Be Free Cares Clinic is conducting in collaboration with the Namibia Institute of Pathology, popularly known as NIP. I'm so excited to learn about this and how we as young people can be able to be part of this study. So please make sure to stick with us so you hear more about the study that we are conducting right here at the Be Free Youth Campus. So as we kick off this discussion, I'm more curious to find out what is the human papillomavirus. What is that, Job?
Oh, thank you, Selma. When you talk about human papillomavirus, which is known as HPV, is a group of 100 viruses, of which some of these HPV virus causes what we call cervical cancer and genital warts. So the mode of spread or the transmission is really common. Number one is through sexual contact activity, which can be anal sex, it can be through vaginal or oral, but it can also spread through skin-to-skin contact.
It can also spread to skin contact. So I can just be sitting right across you and be able to get HPV.
If you sit next to someone who's HPV, they are infected probably, and they happen to probably maybe to sweat like petri sweat. They can also pass the virus to your skin if you have an open sore or open wound on your skin. So the virus is capable of being transferred from one person to another through skin contact.
Okay, why should young people be informed about HPV, Job, if I may ask?
Selma, as healthcare workers, it's our responsibility to make sure that we pass information at the right time, age appropriate to the young people out there. It's one of the primary goal of WHO. So young people need to know about HPV because it's time that we need to take action against HPV because it's one of the leading cause of cancer, which causes a high number of cervical cancer among women. So if we have our young people know the information around it, the symptoms, prevention mechanisms, and the whole clinical definition of HPV, then we have a good population of young people coming out for tests, and we can be able to manage this as a country and a ministry at large.
All right. You spoke something about HPV leading to cervical cancer, or being the cause of the high rates of cervical cancer, as we have mentioned. So, please fill us in. How does HPV contribute to the development of cervical cancer? How does that happen? Are you able to take us through the process?
Okay, so as I said, that HPV belongs to is a group of more than 100 viruses. But among those 100 viruses, or some of the HPV are the leading cause of cancer among women or young women, of which we call CA of the cervix, cancer of the cervix. So if someone pick up HPV, which causes cancer, and they remain untreated, perhaps they don't do their pap smear, or the cancer was not being picked up at an early stage, so it has a high chance of becoming cancer of the cervix, and the whole reproductive system becomes vulnerable to cancer, which is also a second leading of death among young women in the world, including Namibia.
Okay. Now, you spoke about how this contributes to the development of cervical cancer, but let's speak about the importance of early detection. What does that do, and why is it so critical for young people to come here and be tested or get the pap smears right here at the Be Free Cares Clinic?
Okay, as I said, that the louder we scream about HPV, the earlier the better. So when someone is detected, if we take them for pap smears, we obtain that they have a certain type of HPV. We can able to see how can we come in at a medical level, and for example, if it's pre-cancer cells, how can we intervene in cancer treatment, and just also to be aware of the prevention measure, so that we clinically can manage this and have a better clinical intervention in the HPV spreading.
Okay, I think I'm now curious because you spoke about how HPV contributes to the development of cervical cancer and what it is. Now, what are the current recommendations for cervical cancer screening for young people, and how does the Be Free Cares Clinic integrate this recommendation into its services?
Okay, the upcoming study that we are hosting at our clinic at the Be Free campus, in collaboration with NIP, Namibia Institute of Pathology. So what we are basically doing, we are welcoming young girls from all walk of life, from the age of 15 to 24, just to have to do a pap smear and just have a clinical screening. And a few questions on reproductive health, just to find out, are they carrying one of the HPV viruses that contribute to cervical cancer, and which one is common in Namibia. So we are welcoming young girls from all of life, from the age of 15 to 24, who are voluntarily to come for this test without being forced, just to have a short questionnaire of them and do a proper cervical screening.
Okay, so you've mentioned that it's young people based in the Commerce region between the age of 15 to 24. What is the duration of the study? Has it started, and when will it be ending?
The study kicked off with some sites. It kicked off last week, but with us, we're starting this week, this Monday, on the 12th of August. So the study will run up until the second week of September. So we are starting today. The process is very simple, so I just want to say the girl should come.
Well, Job has said it, the girl should come. Are you the girl? Please make your way to the Be Free Cares Clinic at the Be Free Youth Campus. We are located in Budal Street at the Multipurpose Youth Center. Please also take this opportunity to be able to sign up as a Be Free Youth Youth Campus member right here for as little as $8 per year. Job, can you take us, because I'm now curious, because you're inviting us. I'm also the girl. I'm between the age of 15 to 24, and I'm based in the Commerce region. So now I'm curious. Before I can be able to come to the Be Free Cares Clinic for this screening and this study, can you walk us through as to the process of this HPV screening? How does it look like?
Oh, Selma, the process is very simple. It's non-surgical. So it's just to have a short conversation with the girls. giving a short information about HPV, how's the procedure going to be done. So basically, we're just going to obtain a cervical sample from the cervix, and we send the sample to the lab, NIP, which we are collaborating with, and they will run a test. And after the test, they will send us the results with a clinical recommendation. If the HPV is there, they will tell us which HPV is there and what are the clinical recommendations in place in terms of treatment or moving forward. So the procedure is very comfortable, not intense clinically. So I'm welcoming all the girls to the BFF campus for this procedure.
Amazing. So you're going to check out my cervix, in other words?
Yes.
There are no injections involved?
No, as I said, the procedure is not really clinical intense. It's not really significant. What we really do, we just take a spectrum. It's just an instrument that we use to widen the vaginal opening so that we can see the cervix. When you see the cervix, at the end of the cervix there, we're going to obtain a smear that we are going to send to the lab as a sample with the data of the clients and everything, so that the lab can run a test, and upon the test, the lab will tell us whether they have confirmed any certain HPV, which date they have confirmed, and if there's nothing, she will have to give us recommendation when it's likely to come up for their next smear and so forth.
Okay, I just want to know, when you get the tests from the lab, how many days do the young people have to wait? Do you call them? Do you send them a mail? Or what's the mode of communication? So you know that I came here on the 12th of August. So maybe by next week, the test should be back and I will be able to be here at the B3 Cares Clinic to get my results. How does that work?
This is a study that we are doing just to find out what type of HPV do we have in Namibia and which one is more common among our young women. So basically, when I study, there's a lot of ethical considerations that are in place. So we wait until the study is done, then we'll start calling the girls to come and get their results. So we'll definitely keep them posted.
Amazing stuff. You are still tuned on to Sex Talks Podcast, and we'll take a quick commercial break and return to you shortly. Hey Sex Talks listeners! Ever wish you had a safe space where you can have honest conversations, get expert advice, and enjoy fun activities? Well, guess what? The Be Free Youth Campus is here for you, and they are not just another campus. They are your one-stop center for holistic, clinical, mental, and psychological support for young people aged 13 to 35. The campus is open on Monday to Friday from 8 to 5 to all its members. Their services include reproductive health screening and referral, sexual transmitted infection screening and treatment, HIV testing, counseling and treatment, contraceptives, pregnancy tests, antenatal care, PrEP and PEP, pap smears, and more at only $8 Namibian per year. The Be Free Youth Campus also has programs such as chess, robotics, self-defense lessons, and so much more. Are you interested in being a member? Visit the campus to pick up an application form, or you can get one via the link in their bios at Be Free Namibia on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. They also have free Wi-Fi at their facilities. So if you are ready to ditch the shame, take charge of your future, and connect with other awesome young people, come down to the Be Free Youth Campus today. They are located on Bodell Street at the Windhoek Multipurpose Youth Complex in Katutura. For more information, visit them online at Be Free Namibia. Your journey to a healthier and happier you starts here at the Be Free Youth Campus. On to Sex Talks Podcast with me, your host, Selma Ndasilohenda Iyambo. We are still recording live from the Be Free Youth Campus at the Multipurpose Youth Center in Katutura. We are joined by Job Ndeulita, a senior registered nurse at the Be Free Cares Clinic, discussing human papillomavirus and cervical cancer. Job, please update us. What are some of the misconceptions that you have encountered about HPV and cancer screening amongst young people, seeing that you mostly spend your time with young people at the Be Free Youth Campus?
Thank you so much. Young people are more intuitive when it comes to information. They just want to dive in every information that comes their face, and they're more on social media. So Some of the misconceptions that we have around HPV is that HPV is only common in women, but that is a myth because men can also pick up HPV from their partner and they transfer it to their next partner that they are engaging in sexual activity with, meaning HPV is not only for women, but is for everyone that can pick it up and transfer to the next person.
Wow.
The other myth that we have is that some young women believe that if you get vaccinated against HPV, you don't need to do a pap smear again because you're already protected. However, the vaccine, as I said, HPV is a group of more than 100 viruses. So the vaccine only protects against some HPV, but not all HPV that we have around the world. So a proper pap smear that should be done annually is recommended to avoid this HPV among our women. Some people believe that, some young people believe that, if you have HPV, you always have sin and symptom around you. So the sin and symptom can only be there. It's not really significant. It can only be there when the HPV has grown to the stage which is becoming into the first stage of cancer, or the body is really overwhelmed and vulnerable, meaning the body cannot contain it anymore. So you saw the sign, but the damage has gone to a bad extent. So those are some of the reasons they have lived in. And some young people believe that HPV can be treated. We don't have a treatment for the virus in the world. What we really do with the virus, we detect that you have cancer cells, pre-cancer cells. We try to manage them clinically with the manageable cancer process that we have in place. And if we realize that you have genital warts, which is a warning sign of HPV, we treat them. But if you come at a later stage with this cancer, then honestly, there's nothing we can do in the capacity at a medical level. So that's why we are really enforcing early detection for better and early prevention or clinical interventions.
Thank you so much for those misconceptions, Job. There's something that is stuck by me. When you say that a man can also be able to pick up HPV, so yes, the study is only focusing on women. Is there also provision for men to be tested for HPV? Or what advice do you then have for them, seeing that we have indicated that they can also be able to pick it up?
Yes, our primary goal for this study is to find out which common HPV among our women from the age of 15 to 24. So we are not specifically focusing on men, but we are not saying that the men are left out because technically we don't have measure that in place when it comes to HPV testing in men. If we have a lot of young women who are vaccinated or have been screened of the types of HPV that's available in our country, and we put them on vaccine or we immunize them. This will also help to reduce men from picking up from their partner to another woman. So those are some of the prevention measures we have in place, but we don't, at this point in time, we are not really focusing on men, we are focusing on young women between the age of 15 to 24.
I'm just also very curious to find out. If I've been vaccinated, as you've mentioned, it doesn't mean that I'm protected for life.
Yes.
So how often do I then also need to also be able to come in and just get my pap smear?
Medically, we advise young women to do their pap smear annually. In a cycle of 12 months, you just come to the clinic, have your pap smear done. It's a very quick procedure, as I've said, and you get your result within a week, especially pap smear, you get your result within a week. And there's some clinical recommendation in terms of your virus that you've picked up, or they found something which is clinically abnormal in the cervix. They also have clinical recommendation in terms of treatment and mechanism, how to move further with your medical life.
Amazing stuff, Job. Just a quick one. Do you have pap smear available at the Beefy Girls Clinic?
Yes, we do pap smear every day at the Beefy Campus Clinic. Like walking, you have your pap smear done, 5 minutes, you are out.
Okay. Just for our listeners, are you a young person aged 15 to 24 years and based in the Commerce region? Are you interested in receiving a free pap smears and HPV screenings? Then this study is for you. Use this opportunity to reach any of the centers we are located at the Be-Free Kids Clinic between the 12th and the second week of September to be able to partake in this study and also receive pap smears and HPV screening. Remember, the sooner you do it, the better. Now, saying that this is a collaboration between NIP and the Be-Free Kids Clinic, how is this collaboration enhancing the screening and the research efforts of the Be-Free Youth Campus and the country as a whole?
When we have a center like the Be-Free Youth Campus Clinic, which is a center of diversity, where young people are free to move and come in and they have all the medical reason to run a test that they want, falling under the Be-Free Youth Campus clinic protocol. I think having a center like this gives young people more homes to come in and just pass the message according to their friends, and also the neighboring location, just walk down to the Be-Free campus. And looking to the research, it will help the Be-Free campus to be a center for excellence in terms of research, because WHO now and our Ministry of Health is looking at statistics in terms of numbers, even donors, when they are providing donation to a certain practice or certain clinic or ministry, they want to see how many numbers are using in the clinic. So this statistic will also help the ministry in terms of procuring some medical item to us, in terms of human resource, having staff also come to mobilize young people in terms of this, and also just to have evidence-based clinical or in terms of research at this center, and just helping a lot of young people to come in and utilize the service of the Be-Free Campus Clinic.
As a young person, why are you not utilizing this center to ensure that your health and well-being is your main priority? Just like here on Sex Talks podcast, your health and well-being are our main priority. But we are going to need you to tag along with us so we ensure that your health is still our main priority here. As we near or we get close to the end of today's episode, Job, what message do you have for young people regarding HPV and cervical cancer screening?
I would say prevention is better than cure. So I would love to welcome the young girls from the age of 15 to 24 to the Be-Free campus. As I have said, that the Be-Free campus clinic is a campus of diversity. So our principle is just to sustain a sustainable, innovative, but most importantly, an inclusive Namibia in terms of African delivery system, where we have young people coming through, voice out their health needs, and just have a nurse or a clinical psychologist or someone just there to talk to them. In this campaign, I think it's not all about HPV, it's also about coming and acquainting yourself with all the services that are available at the Be-Free campus in terms of health. So I think if we have more girls coming and knowing what type of HPV they have, if they have it, or what information around HPV, and I think we will have a better society, a better place where women are really being placed in positions where they really own their own space and they become the women and the young people they want to be. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Job. But are the young people also welcome to request for this job when they come to the clinic? Just a question. Wow. Okay. Job said you are more than welcome to request for this job when you come to the Be-Free Kids Clinic at the Be-Free Youth Campus. With that being said, thank you so much for tuning on to Sex Talks podcast, where we openly discuss sexual and reproductive health, gender-based violence, and mental health. Thank you so much for providing us with valuable insights on HPV and cervical cancer, Job. With that being said, once again, stay tuned for more episodes as we explore the theme of your body, your future, navigating parenthood. Remember, you can be able to connect with us, that is on social media and podcast streaming platforms. That's on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Spotify, Apple Podcast, or our website at www.sextalkspodcast.com, or wherever you are able or where you get your podcast from. Until next time, amigos, adios. It's been amazing being in your company.